Hey, what up, everyone? Welcome back to the Fitness Business Podcast. Jordan here, your co-host. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to avoid getting ripped off by a business mentor. And I feel qualified to talk about this subject because at different points, I would have probably told you that we have, quote unquote, gotten ripped off. Now, in retrospect, I don't believe that to be true because I think it's up to us to extract value out of any investment we make, right? It basically removes any personal responsibility that we can take and control to ever say that I got scammed by somebody. Now, keep in mind, there are some legit scams out there. And I'm going to share with you how to avoid investing into the wrong coach, the wrong program. But nonetheless, here are kind of four key things to watch out for. First, have they done what you want to do? Okay, and have they done it in the way that you want to do it, right? Because there might be a lot of business mentors out there who have grinded their fucking dicks off in order to reach some revenue milestone or whatever the case is. Have they done it in a way that also appeals to your lifestyle and in a way that aligns with your own values, your own morals, and your own ethics, right? A good example of this could be, I know a lot of mentorship programs out there that have amazing marketing. They're just epic marketers, and you can just see it. And that tells me a lot of times, this isn't always true, but the coaches or the programs that have the best marketing a lot of times have the worst products, right? A lot of times those who have the worst marketing have the best products because it's all about where the attention is going, where the focus is. But a good way to just assess this is ask, the mentor, let's say it's a fitness business mentor, hey, what was your last month's revenue in your own fitness business? I would just ask that question. What that usually will bring to light is that they failed or, they found that the vehicle of business coaching was easier or whatever, and they weren't able to sustain both businesses. And for me, it's how could you have jumped to a new vehicle without solidifying the first one, right? And just letting the first one go. For Aaron and I, we continued to run our business for years building IFCA. And it wasn't until we had the opportunity to sell our company and to basically put the company into a mission in another organization that we're still advisors on and still a part of that business, that we knew that they were in better hands, right? And we were having our son Jackson. We just wanted less things. But for starters, we're one of the only health and fitness mentorship companies who have actually done the thing that they're trying to help coaches do. Again, we operated our business for almost 10 years. And, we employed coaches, dietitians, functional health specialists who had 27 plus certifications. We've worked with over 4,500 clients in that decade. And then again, after growing that to well beyond 7 figures and structuring the business where it only required maybe 4 or 5 hours a week from Aaron and I. But again, we had an offer that we just couldn't pass up. So we are the only, one of two, fitness business companies or health and fitness business companies who have actually built a sellable company and sold it. Because when you do that, your business is examined under a microscope. They look at every detail. So there's no lying about your numbers or your infrastructure. And the reason we were able to sell is because we had a really, really strong business, strong culture, retention, communities, and all that. The next thing I would look for are accreditations, right? So as far as we go, we're a preferred provider for some of the most recognizable accreditation companies in our industry, including ISSA, NASM, AFAA. We're getting ready to get our ACE. So they look at your business really closely and they make sure that you have a good track record, good company results, you're in a good standing with the Better Business Bureau. They don't want to just put their name on anybody. So I would ask, are you accredited with any, major companies? The next thing is just proven track record and success stories. So any coach can throw out, what happens a lot of times is they'll get a few clients who are already successful. Frankly, a lot of times our most successful clients, they end up going and working with another company, and then that other company will brag about their results, and then that client will end up coming back to us because that other company sucked. And you want to just make sure that they have ample case studies, ample results, not just 10, 20. I would look for hundreds, right? It's kind of like the iPhone, right? If when an iPhone comes out with a new product, I'm usually a little bit skeptical to jump on it right away. I want to let the bugs and the kinks get worked out a little bit. So for me, I'm not going to just jump on and work with somebody unless they've been in the game for a while, years, right? The other thing is success stats, right? Do they track these things? Do they track their actual statistics for client success? Most companies don't for one of two reasons. Either A, they just don't know how, or B, they don't want to know the numbers, right? They're not very appealing. For us, we know that our average new coach signs their first client in just 4 weeks. We know that the average student within 90 days graduates with 12 additional clients. And we know that our average student makes their investment back within 10 weeks, while 25% of our students make their investment back in 4 weeks. We know that if a coach comes into our program who's already established, meaning they're already doing at least $3,000 to $4,000 a month, they'll grow their business 1.5 times within just 90 days and 3.2 times in just 6 months. Because obviously, it's really easy to take an existing business and just fuel it, right? So again, ask for those stats. But here's the thing. Regardless of all of these factors, you want to make sure you have control over your own outcomes. So think about it in terms of college, right? If you would go in college and you take a Spanish course, and let's assume that in this Spanish course, roughly half of those students in the class will be below average in terms of just students, right? In fact, I would venture to guess that around 80% of the people in this class will never actually learn to speak Spanish fluently. But you don't hear people saying man, that Spanish class was a scam, right? You would just assume that there would be some bad students in that class. But if you sign up for something, you have to understand that you have to do the work to develop the skills that are going to therefore allow you to have success with whatever that vehicle is. It's not just going to happen for you. And a lot of times we think these skills are just going to come automatically, right? Boom, boom. It's just tell me what to do and I do it. Sometimes there's skills that have to be developed in order to apply those things most effectively. But the key is asking yourself the question, am I closer to where I want to go? Did I lay another brick on this bridge towards my desired outcome? And if you did, then it was a worthy investment. Because think about other areas that you could potentially invest your money in. Let's say the S&P 500 or real estate, whatever the case is. And let's say that those things give you a 10, 12, even a 15% return, right? Because that's really, really good returns for any kind of investment. If you invest in your own skills and your own business, you pay for that thing once. And I know for our business example, you pay for IFCA once, and if you sign between 3 to 5 clients, depending on what you're charging and your product and stuff, you've now made your entire investment back. So every single dollar you earn on top of that is a positive ROI. We're talking thousands, tens of thousands of % return on investment. So it blows my mind that people are quicker to invest in crypto or in the stock market or whatever else the vehicle might be, which also has immense downside risk, right? You can lose it all like that. Instead of investing in themselves, where if you learn skills to make money, it is impossible that you don't make a way higher return, okay? Cool. So the very last point here, and I think this one's important, is do they guarantee results, right? Do they guarantee the outcome? If they don't, then there's probably a reason why. Like us, for example, we've had a guarantee on our program for almost 3 years now, and our refund rate is, it's under I think 2%. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and then students do come through and they don't get the result. And as long as they held up to their end of the agreement and did the necessary action items, we'll refund the money or we'll keep coaching them for free until they do. And so here's what our guarantee looks like. If you're a health, fitness, nutrition coach or a personal trainer, we'll install our systems in your business. And within just 90 days, if you don't make at least $10,000, we'll just keep coaching you for free until we do. Or if at the end of that 90 days, you're like, you know what, I've had a bad experience, not interested in that, we'll just refund you, no questions. Now, why even guarantee the money, right? Because we know that we got into this business to help people, not to make money. The reality is your income is directly proportionate to the amount of impact that you have on your clients, period, right? So that's why in IFCA, we really specialize in helping mission-driven, results-focused coaches maximize their impact and their income while minimizing time spent in their business. Because again, your business should revolve around your life. Your life should not revolve around your business. So look, if you're interested in any of this and you're like, hey, I know this works. I've seen all the success stories. They've done it themselves. They've done it for thousands of other coaches and trainers and health practitioners. Then let's apply, right? Take the leap. Click the apply button. It should be in the show notes. What'll happen there is if your app is approved, we'll hop on a quick 30-minute demo call. It's going to be no obligation. In fact, we have no incentive to try to sell you anything because if we don't truly believe we can help you, then if we sell you and you don't get results, we don't get paid, right? So the last thing I'll say here is, a lot of times I don't have the money. Look, nobody just has money laying around. The people who really want anything in life, they find ways to get the money. I know me personally, I've taken out credit cards, PayPal loans, I've sold shit, right? Do what you got to do to come up with the money. Because here's the thing, when you're driving down the street in any major city and you're looking around and you see all these high-rise buildings, these skyscrapers, these office buildings, ask yourself, who owns those buildings, right? The people who own those buildings are investors, big, wealthy tycoons. None of them use their own money to buy those buildings. None of them. They got funding from private lenders, from friends, from family. They took bank loans out. They went and found the money and raised the money to invest in those properties. One of the best skills you can have in business is the ability to raise money. So if it were me and I didn't have the money to invest in a program to help me generate a better income and create more freedom, I'm going to go to everybody I know and create a pitch for them, right? Say, hey, I'll give you, if you loan me, let's say $5,000, I'll pay you back within 60 days plus interest, right? Just go find the money. I'm telling you, once you learn that skill once, and if you can actually return that money to that person with interest, guess what? They'll loan you money again for your next investment. Maybe you'll have a real estate opportunity or whatever else it is. So anyways, hopefully this resonated with you. And my ultimate goal with this episode is to help you avoid potential wrong decision with a business mentor. Okay. Cause there's a lot of them out there. So anyways, hopefully this helped, and I appreciate y'all. See you on the next